Hey everyone, Toonwar here, and today we're going to be talking about the Powerpuff Girls, Sugar, Spice, and Everything Nice, and an accident drop of Chemical X. These are the 9 episodes that I fell in love with the Powerpuff Girls with. Alright, let's get to it. The first one we're going to start with is Mojo Rising. In this episode, we find out the creator of Mojo and also the creator of the Powerpuff Girls. I know you're going to say, well, it's Professor X, obviously. Well, true. Professor X had a little bit to do with it, but also Mojo. Let's start in the beginning. Before we even go to that, let's start in the beginning. The beginning of the episode, Professor X is doing what he always do, house chores and all, and then Mojo comes in and kidnaps him. And guess what happens then? He writes a note. Typical. Mojo always have to show everyone that he's smart and he's 10 steps ahead of everyone. So he writes a note to the Powerpuff Girls telling him that he kidnapped the professor, secret laboratory in a secret place. Newsflash, spoiler alert, it's not that secret and it's not that secret of a lab. In the middle of Townsville in a park, right on top of a volcano. That's apparently active sometimes. Yeah, very smart, Mojo, very smart. But you gotta love that monkey. He's a genius and he had his own theme song. So hey, you gotta love Mojo Jojo. Alright, back to it. Mojo, you know how they do. Not so fast, Mojo Jojo. And then of course, Mojo Jojo does what he always do. An evil monopoly monologue. Monologue? That's another word I can't say. An evil speech, which, by the way, how come every villain has to do a speech like we have to know their evil plan? I would think the best thing to do is not tell you their plan, so they'd be able to get away with it. But that's beside the point. We got to know their plan so we know what to do, so we know what to be afraid of, right? Well, his plan is basically simple: sibling rivalry, and well, turns out Mojo Jojo is jealous of the Powerpuff Girls because they had all Professor X Utonium's love. Sad thing, really. No, not really. Professor X didn't even realize that Mojo was his monkey for a little while. So X also hit Mojo and made him a super genius. And thus he left because he ruled the day that those brats was ever born, so he can destroy them. Yeah. Now, at the end of this episode, there's a very funny, not epilogue, what's it called? Oh, epiphany Mojo had. But we'll get to that in a minute. Alright, so he does all this. And then he tells Professor X that all I want in this is just the same superpowers that the Powerpuff Girls have. Obviously, the Powerpuff Girls, knowing what Mojo's planning is like, no way. If you do that, you'll be unstoppable. Newsflash, that's the point. Mojo wants to be unstoppable. But Professor X, seeing that this is technically my son, I have to do it since I neglected him. So, they give him superpowers. Next thing you know, Mojo attacks Professor X. And then the Powerful Girls and Mojo Jojo have a huge battle. You know how it is, how the whole thing, you know. You gotta love it. But then they realize one thing. He's able to use, I guess, a brain blast. Yes, Jimmy Neutron. He used a brain blast. Yeah. It looked cool. It's like the rainbow with the Powerpuff Girls whole thing. It's like the rainbow basically. But anyway, he does that, and then he like, now I finally defeated the Powerpuff Girls, and now I can destroy all my weapons and everything because I don't need it because I have superpowers. And then he started, and then Professor X realized Mojo Jojo was a terrible, terrible assistant. Life assistants. Really, monkeys? They have more energy than a little kid. And plus, but anyway, besides that, Jojo destroyed everything he got his little grubby little hands on. That's what Professor X said. And then it was the same day he actually kicked them out, the same day that the Powerpuff Girls were created. And here's where the kicker comes in. Mojo Jojo I created the Powerpuff Girls? A whole epiphany he had. He completely astounded, can't even comprehend. So I created the Powerpuff Girls. I'm trying to create what I destroyed. It was me. It was me with a whole dumb look on his face. It was one of the funniest episodes. That was the first episode when I fell in love with the Powerpuff Girls. Yet till this day, you have to go back to that episode to this day. It was me. It was me. They say even now he's saying that. All right. My second favorite episode. Now this episode, all the boys gotta love. Yes, boys and girls love the Powerpuff Girls. But this episode, all the boys loved it. The Ruddy Rough Boys. This is basically how do you create boys? The same little rhyme that the Powerpuff Girls is all based off of. Well, the Ruddy Rough Boys is the same way. Now, I can't remember the exact ingredients for them, and the chemical X, let's just say it was a chemical X, all right. If you go back to see the episode, you'll know what I'm talking about. But basically, the Ruddy Rough Boys, the strongest, and they're the opposite of the Powerpuff Girls, but they're stronger than the Powerpuff Girls. It's kind of whatever a boy can do, a girl can do better. And I ate it up like cookies. I loved it. I loved every second and every minute of that episode. The Ruddy Rough Boys and the whole thing of it was they could not do anything to beat them. Boys, yeah, whoever heard that one, whoever heard that one before, I bet. The girls or the Ruddy Rough Boys. Obviously, the boys would say the Ruddy Rough Boys. The girls would say the Powerpuff Girls. And yes, the Powerpuff Girls were strong, but I believe the Ruddy Rough Boys was a little bit stronger, guys. Don't get mad at me. I'm just saying facts. Okay, not facts. I'm saying my opinion. But the Powerpuff Girls are smarter than them, and they always outsmart them. That's kind of the thing. Boys are kind of dumb compared to girls. Well, the Ruddy Rough Boys goes to that times a million. Well, at least times 100. Okay, I won't go a million. I'll go times 100. But they was able to beat them with the old reliable cooties. Yep, kissing them, and the cooties were, well, poisonous to them. It really was. It really was. But hey, whatever. It made him create Domino, so why not? I'm on down with it. Domino basically had every weapon imaginable: guns, missiles, lasers. Oh, it had scissors. Oh, hold on, I got some over here somewhere. Where are they at? Where's my scissors? Oh, it basically had scissors. Yes, it had a bow and it had scissors as a bow. You gotta love it. But all the damage for that whole city, Townsville, Townsville taxes got to be ridiculous. I just leave it at that. At the end of the whole thing, the city was completely demolished, and the taxes for it to fix the city up and everything else, it got to be on a whole different level. I'm just saying, Townsville destruction. Let's just leave it at that. All right. The next one was Bod and Away. Stuck Up and Away. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to delete that. Stuck Up and Away. Yes, Princess. Have you guys ever been in school or just worked anywhere and there was just this one person was just like, oh, I'm better. I think I'm better than you, or I make more money than you, or something or another. Well, that was the princess. That and more. Literally, her name was Morebucks. Really, Morebucks? Princess Morebucks. Yeah, that's saying Daddy giving you everything you want and then some because he doesn't want to be nowhere near you is an understatement of the year. So okay, let's get on to this episode. Princess first day in school in Pokio kindergarten. First day in school, she comes in rich and everything, stuck up, don't want to do anything with no one. And all she sees is the Powerpuff Girls using their powers. And guess what? They're popular. She wants to be popular because she's rich. She thinks she deserves it. So she wants to be a Powerpuff Girl, not realizing she has nothing that a Powerpuff Girl has. Powers, truth and justice, and all that goody goody. She got none of that. Says you can't be a Powerpuff Girl because you don't have any superpowers. It's too dangerous for you. Guess what she said? Telling that to Batman. Batman don't have superpowers. Money not a superpower. I mean, well, okay. Batman does have superhuman abilities on a certain level, but Batman don't have no superpowers. Let's just leave it at that. He's superhuman. Well, he's beyond human. He's stronger than a human. Okay, he's Batman. That's all said and done. He's Batman. Okay, back to it. All right. She said, "Try saying that to Batman." I'm sorry. Here's what happens. Basically, she wants to be just like them. Princess goes to her dad. Her dad gives her a huge stack of money in hundreds. Yes, just a huge stack of money. And thus, she goes buy herself a super suit. Yes, where's my super suit? She goes buys herself one. So she goes try to help the Powerpuff Girls with a robbery, a simple robbery. Spoiler alert, it didn't end well for them. And thus they had to save Princess, and then the robbery got away. And thus they tell her again, you can't be a powerpuff. You don't have what it takes. You don't have no powers. But did that stop Princess? Oh no. Just like the little engine that could, but evil. Thus she went to go get more money, yes, more money from her father. And this time I'm not talking about like two stacks of hundreds, no. I mean like a case full of $100 bills, and then some. And bought herself a huge super suit, and then beat the crap out of the Powerpuff Girls. Long story short, it didn't end well for her, and then she got put in jail. For a 5-year-old to get put in jail, I'm like, what? But hey, I can't say she doesn't deserve it. I mean, after all, you literally tried to be a Powerpuff Girl. You literally tried to destroy the Powerpuff Girl because you couldn't be one. And then Blossom told her, you're just a spoiled brat. You don't have what it takes to be a Powerpuff. And thus, that episode was also another one of my favorites. Here's another one. We'll go back to Bought and Scold. Bought Townsville, yes, I say bought, from the mayor, which I didn't even know the mayor could do that, but he bought it, but he sold it. Now, how much money you think the mayor sold Townsville for? $1 million? No. $2 trillion? Nay, sir. 5 trillion? Oh no. For all the sweets and candy you can eat? Yeah, he sold it for that. Sweets and candy. And thus Princess is now the mayor, so she thought it would be good. I'm going to make all crime legal. Not looking at the whole repercussions of that. All crime is legal, so I guess crime technically isn't crime. But okay, whatever. Crime is legal. Really? Crime is legal. Crime is legal, right? Alright. So the gang comes in. Gang Green Gang. Mutant teenagers. Let's leave it at that. That's basically what they are. They're mutant teenagers. Comes in the kindergarten, beats up and bullies and everything else you can think of, I guess, for these 5-year-olds. Yeah, bravo, Gang Green Gang. You're showing these 5-year-olds that you're that strong. We go to school here, right? Tries to beat them up. Gang Green Gang goes, you can't do that because crime is legal now. And then the Pop-Up's like, what? And then it's like, yeah. So they're like, has the man lost his mind? Well, no. He lost the town for all the goodies and, I guess, treats, sweets you can eat. The mayor's an idiot. The mayor's an idiot. The only reason why he keeps becoming the mayor because no one wants to go against him. Because why? Who wants to is laughing like, yep, because I can't be a Powerpuff, I'm gonna ruin y'all business. Like they make money from this. So you're gonna make crime legal? Yep, I'm making crime legal. So guess what? If you try to stop any criminals, you'll go to jail. But then you got to think, wait, but if crime is legal, that means they can still fight crime because technically there is no law against it. So, but anyway, I get the whole thing. Basically, you can't be the whole goody goody. Now, if you want to be good, you got to be evil, and they can't do that. Or can they? Now let's go to Princess over here at her huge mansion, which you think that would be the first place people would try to rob. Kind of like, what's the name of that movie that everyone can do whatever they want? The Purge. Basically, the Powerpuff Girls made The Purge. I just now got that. The Powerpuff Girls literally are the first ones to do The Purge. Anyway, mind blower to me. Mind blower. Anyway, so they live in a huge mansion that has basically everything you can possibly think of. Thousands of cars and all the trophies that this man has, and yet again, I don't know what he does for a living, but he has a lot of money, and he basically, as you picture a rich guy can have, that's what he got. All right, so now Princess is going to sleep. She's walking in her mansion and everything, just happy that she was able to beat the Powerpuff Girls and all that. Then she walked back, and then she walked right back in her room, and guess what? All her stuff is stolen. Then she like, what? Everything's gone. What? 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 Yes, everything's gone. Crime is legal, so hey, the richest place in the world, and I can take everything here and then be mine because crime is legal? Yeah, I'll do that. Why not? I'm gonna do it. I mean, it's not against the law. It's not like you wouldn't do it either. Come on now, you guys would do it as well. If I could, I would too. I mean, It's not against the law. She made crime legal. That was her downfall for doing that. So she goes to the Powerpuff Girls, and the Powerpuff Girls go like, "Well, crime is legal, so technically there is no crime." So she basically said, "Fine, I need Daddy's stuff, so I won't get grounded." Yeah. So that's what made her make crime legal again. So the Powerpuff Girls goes all over the place, beating up criminals that's breaking the law because crime's legal. Crime's illegal again. So and then she realized the Powerpuff Girls stole all my stuff. And then she like, I should have y'all arrested. Ha ha, can't have us arrested because when we took all your stuff, crime was legal. So technically, all the stuff you have is ours. Kind of like going with the thing like, well, it doesn't matter if you stole all this stuff, if you stole all this stuff. She realized this, and then of course she has to give the town back to the mayor, and also, well, promise that she'll never do it again. Because I mean, with the money she has, she can just do it all over again. So she gets her stuff. She gets all the stuff back, but sadly, she doesn't do it in time for her father to wake up and realizes that not crime, that all their stuff was stolen. And well, as the saying goes, ah, you win some, you lose some, princess. You win some, you lose some. Mm. Not like she didn't deserve. Not like she didn't deserve anything though. So, win-win situation in my book. All right. What's the next one? Oh, the boogeyman. Ah, yes, we got to talk about the boogeyman. The one, the only, the boogeyman. Basically, the whole thing of if you ever been scared of the dark, the boogeyman is basically the whole don't have to sleep with a lamplight or with the light cracked of the in the hallway. That's the whole boogeyman thing. Well, this they stepped it a bit further with having him like that, but also having just about every trope you can possibly think of when it comes to boogie. Yes, I mean boogie as in dancing, nightclubs. The boogeyman got it going on. You hear me? He got it going on. The one, the only boogeyman. He boogies, all right. They treated this whole thing like a nightclub. At the time, I didn't understand it, but now I'm like, this was basically a nightclub episode. The boogeyman boy, he literally made a disc. He literally had a disco as the moon blocking out the sun. And then in order for the Powerpuff Girls to blow it up, guess what they did? They had to. They took a book off of Star Wars to blow up the moon. Oh, I'm sorry, the disco. You gotta love the Powerpuff Girls for stuff like this. You gotta love it. They had every trope imaginable and they made it work. Now the last one we're gonna talk about is the custody battle between him, as in AKA the devil, and Mojo Jojo. And custody battle, you're like, what custody battle? The custody battle of the Ruddy Rough Boys. The Ruddy Rough Boys? Yep, the Ruddy Rough Boys. The Rowdy Rough Boys. I'm sorry, I always say Ruddy. I don't know why. Maybe I liked it. Maybe I like it better. The Rowdy Rough Boys. As I said before, the Powerpuff Girls kissed them and they blew up. But him brought them back to life with with cootie proof. Yes, circle, circle, dot, dot. Now you had your cootie shot. He got off the internet. Yes, even back then you can get anything off the internet. Hey, just try it. Maybe you would be able to. Maybe you'd be able to be immune to cooties or something. Anyway, they basically had a custody battle. Who is the father of the Rowdy Rough Boys? Of course, now they're arguing which one is more evil. Because whoever the most evil is the ones that created the Rowdy Rough Boys. Mojo Jojo created them, but him brought them back to life. So who is the most evil of the Rowdy Rough Boys? Or I guess who is the father of the Rowdy Rough Boys? At the end of the day, Mojo, like, after being 6 seasons on this show, I still don't get the respect I deserve. And thus, the Ruddy Rough Boys like, forget it. We don't care who is more eviler or more stupider or whatever. All we care about is one thing, destroying the Powerpuff Girls. The both of them like, oh my god, that's the most evilest thing I ever heard. You gotta love it. These are the episodes that what made me fall in love with the Powerpuff Girls. as I said, the Powerpuff Girls had every trope imaginable. Girl tropes to complete kaiju tropes, it had everything. Anime, it basically one of the things that that made me fall in love with anime before I even realized what anime was. Yes, it did have some anime in it. Kaiju's are basically a Japanese thing. Excuse my language, I'm wrong about that. Which, tell me down in the comments below. But tell me your favorite episodes on the Powerpuff Girls and what episodes y'all and what was y'all favorite villains and all. All right, guys. Toon World out.